trails and the DNR with the money. How about the snowmobile trail improvement fund managed by the MSA instead of the DNR? We could save a lot of money.
Privatization? No idea is a bad idea. Privatization, can I capture it that way?
Yeah.
Privatization of snowmobile program?
Yeah, and then the state can come in and audit our book because they won't let us go in and audit theirs.
We keep those and recycle them. It's been talked about.
All right, wrap up time.
Is there like proof or something about DNR has cities fund? I mean, everybody's talking about the DNR has money or losing money or whatever. Is it more than just talk? I mean, is there actual proof that they funds have been misappropriated or lost or misused?
Everybody.
Let me ask this question. Do you guys want to take 10 minutes and get into that or no? No.
What's that?
I mean, that's good.
Well, I can
There's a
handle it.
lot of information, misinformation. You know what? I think, honestly, the best way to handle that is when we're tearing down, get a chance to talk with these guys.
Let's real quick just,
Yeah.
are we talking about the 10 million or are we talking about the snowmobile program? Because the 10 million was fish and game funds.
Yeah, it's not
Didn't have anything to do with the snowmobile program.
See, but I think it got mixed in.
Well, it just got, nothing got mixed in.
Talking about the 10 million being our money and snowmobile money.
Well, that's because the sportsman's group that was really tagging on that where's the 10 million said, well, you know, your snowmobilers ought to get involved and the ATVers ought to get involved, horseback riders, you know.
That's the risk of the internet.
Right.
Right, but if you control it through the MSA, you can control the information so that it is valid.
Have we dealt with the 10 million issue? The other issue was,
The snowmobile funds, I think MSA has done a great job of, I guess, watching the DNR to make sure that they're not being used for anything else. They're protected, they can't be raided by the governor, they can't be raided by anybody, they're constitutionally protected. That was voted on at the last general election, so that's a good thing right there. Does the DNR use funds out of that $2.3 million? Are they misusing that funds? You know, the way they develop that is so much stays in Lansing, so much stays, it goes out to every unit. Let me pick the Gaylord unit. I don't know what the dollar figure is, but that Gaylord unit, what they call their unit, gets X amount of dollars to maintain or to work on the snowmobile program. So whenever that guy does jobs, he has to put a cost accounting that I worked 8 hours in the snowmobile program today. I met with Club, and I went out and checked the trails. He has a cost accounting code, he puts it in there. Are they out in the field charging stuff against our code when they're really not doing it? Without watching every guy every day, how do you know? So basically what we need to look at, and what we are looking at, what we do watch, is that how much money does it take to maintain and manage the system? And that's where last year we really started getting out of, wait a minute, $2.3 million, that's a hell of a lot of percentage. So you know what, a month ago, I'm down testifying to the committee that's looking at the appropriations for next year's funds. We had already fed those committee guys, and they brought it up to the DNR. 28%, the DNR was right there, saying, oh, no, we didn't do 28%, because we found $410,000 that was inadvertently put into our fund that was meant for grooming, and we need to transfer that back over to the grant program, which has already been done. And also on our side, there was $357,000 spent on signs and posts for the program that was inadvertently put on our side. That needs to be moved to the grant side. So all of a sudden now they're down from 2.3 down to 1.5 million. And Representative Lottie says, well, that's still, you know, that's 13%. We need to cut that, we need to find out what it is. Well, we don't have those exact figures for you. So Lottie says, okay, we got 30 days, let's do an audit of the program through your department. So that's what they're doing right now. So, wow. So I think we've made a good job, and I think that's, you know, going the way. Did we ever do that before? as much as we did? No. Because chasing that elusive appropriation, by the time we never were in on it fast enough or at the right time. The appropriation was done, got to change it legislatively to get it changed. So now we're more attuned to it, I guess, and working with making sure, and this is how fast things go. In January, we met with Senator McManus, who had the Senate side. She gave me her word that we'd have some hearings on it and talk about it before it came out of the Senate. Did it? No. Went to the Senate right away. So we stopped it over at Lottie's side. But that's how fast this stuff, and I mean, we've got a lobbyist down there that's looking at this stuff, and it's still, that's how fast stuff moves if you aren't keeping an eye on the ball. So, do I think that there's been misappropriation? No. Do I think the DNR probably used more than they should have? Yeah. You know, but it's not missing. It wasn't sent for, you know, here and there. You know, and I feel pretty confident that what was spent righteously. To a point, was there any in the grant program? Was there any grooming requested that didn't happen? You hear innuendo while those guys aren't really grooming that much. You know, so when we hear those things, we try to check them out. You know, and it's a check and balances. You got to keep on it.
So not only am I hearing the answer to the question about the money, the big picture of what I'm hearing is MSA's on. These guys are doing their job. Amongst all these other issues and shuffling all these balls in the air, they got to pick their priorities on a daily basis. And you know, I think they're doing a hell of a job. Because that 10 million, that 2.3, the information that's been all around the internet, there's a lot of information, a lot of disinformation, but they're doing the job, man. You know, I think they're doing great.
I think we're doing as good a job as we can with the resources that we have available to us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are we doing a good job of communicating that out? No.
There's only so many resources available. I mean, if they had more, they'd have more resources and we can get more information out. It all comes in a big package.
But I will say that's one of Don and Jim's goals, and that's why we're sitting here, and that's why our website's actually not going 6 months with the same stuff on it, you know, so, you know, is it getting there? Yeah. Is it a slow, painful process? Yes, it is.
We heard where the MSA was as an organization. We came in here today to kind of help the MSA leadership build the foundation of a strategic plan. We kind of now know where we're at on some very specific issues, just now some financial issues. What you guys have done tonight is help build the foundation of a strategic plan. As you guys can see, there's a plethora of issues that one organization has to deal with. One organization that has 2.5, 2 employees and 2 part-times, am I correct there?
Karen and I are full-time and we have a part-time gal.
So 2.5 employees. It's a lot of work and a lot of volunteerism, a lot of issues. But they're dedicated now to going into the strategic planning process. It's going to take time. It's a very busy time of year for the MSA, as I have come to understand and learn, as they're obviously fighting the good fight, the legislative side, taking care of the national issues, being a very important part of the national issues, representing us. So when the strategic plan will take place is going to be over time. At least that's the way I'm going to see it. The information that you provided them is what they're going to have to work on as a leadership organization. They're going to have to really delve into these issues. Not only the 3 that you guys picked out tonight, but they're going to have to take a look at some of these other issues too. Yeah.
If I could just say a couple of things on behalf of Bill and Karen and all those folks up at MSA. You know, all this stuff is above and beyond. You know, these are goals, these are directions we want to head. It doesn't even talk about the trail permit program that they already run tremendously effectively. The raffle ticket sale.